And the Utah Jazz just had an interesting game against the Boston Celtics. Things are going crazy. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, before we get into this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like always, the Utah Jazz, this one, I go on vacation for 2 games and everything falls apart. Everything falls apart. Things were going so well. And then the Jazz have to go. I thought that the Jazz would have solidified things by not beating the Detroit Pistons, #1 team in the East. I thought that they wouldn't have beaten the San Antonio Spurs the next day in San Antonio, the #2 team in the West. Yet here we are. And then I come back and the Utah Jazz lose to the Boston Celtics. So I guess I can just never leave Utah. I guess that's the lesson that I have learned. Utah just absolutely cannot afford to have me leave. I guess that's the step. All right. I'm officially making it about me. No, just kidding. But anyways, this Utah Jazz team, they lose to the Boston Celtics like they need to, because I tell you what, Keonte George is becoming so good. And next year, this Utah Jazz team, if they keep the best players, the most promising young players, and so on for next season, have a chance to be really good next year. Really good. And this is the last chance Utah is going to have to pick high with their own pick in a long time, because this Jazz team is really good. Now, tonight, they lose the game, obviously. Ace Bailey's out. They didn't play Svi Mikhailuk. And I think, honestly, can we just sit Svi Mikhailuk for the rest of the season? One of the things that's been really frustrating, yes, the Jazz have been really good, and Keonte George is an absolute superstar, but this season can be changed and saved with real easy move. I guess if you listen to the most recent Zach Lowe podcast, I guess the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be calling Adam Silver every day just to make sure the Jazz don't tank so they can get the Jazz's pick, because apparently we're letting the Sam Presties of the world dictate what we do. Screw Sam Presti. You know what? By the way, the one thing Utah can do to fix this whole situation is do whatever they want first. And 2, go trade a second-round pick to whoever for cash. And that'll pay the fines. So any fines that we get, by the way, the Jazz got 1 fine last year, and it was $100,000, which is like buying an ice cream cone for Ryan Smith. It's fine. Stop letting losers and bullies dictate your existence and your life. Fight back. Do what you want. But this Jazz team, if they just make some trades around the edges, because these games that the Jazz have won, by the way, you have someone like Kevin Love going for a 16-16. You have other players like Svi Mikhailuk hitting threes at a high rate. I just got my garbage notification. Let's turn this off. And so I already put the garbage out. So if it's garbage night for you guys, put out the garbage. Speaking of that, Utah needs to trade Svi Mikhailuk or not play him, because around the edges is where the Jazz are winning a lot of these games. You're getting games where Svi Mikhailuk goes 4 for 5 from 3. And Svi Mikhailuk is not the reason you're winning these games, but those points and that efficiency for a player that's not going to be on the Jazz in 3 years, 2 years, whatever, is costing you. And so Svi Mikhailuk doesn't play. Utah Jazz lose in a close one. A win. You can get a player like Svi Mikhailuk next year with your free agency money. Heck, you can just get Svi Mikhailuk if you want him. But You do not need him this year. And Kevin Love getting minutes and winning games for the Jazz by going like 4 for 6 from 3 off the bench is not doing anything for you. Let's just give Kevin Love a vacation, get him a national parks pass. He can enjoy all the national parks and the beauty that Utah has to offer. It's 60 degrees outside half the time in January and December. So it's a great time for him to go enjoy Arches National Park. I personally think Capitol Reef is one of the hidden gems of this entire world. Go to Capitol Reef and enjoy it. It's incredible, Kevin Love. And we'll pay all expense paid trip. You don't have to even work. You're getting paid to go to the national parks. Okay? Take Svi with you. And guess what? Utah loses the game tonight. And yeah, there were some things that Boston did really well. But guess what? If you can just make these moves around the edges, Kyle Anderson, sorry, we don't need your services. We would rather have Cody Williams and, Taylor Hendricks getting these minutes. That's much more important to develop them. And also at the same time lose these games than win meaningless games that cost you in a big time way. We would not even be talked about in the offices of the moron that is Adam Silver if the Jazz just didn't play Kevin Love and Svi Mikhailiuk. What are they going to do? Tell us to play them? If we're playing Keonte George and Lauri Markkanen and losing the games because Svi Mikhailiuk missed the game, then so be it. And at the same time, if Svi Mikhailiuk is not playing and that causes you to lose the game, that's a very clear sign Utah still needs one more piece. So that all said, let's talk about Boston just a little bit. This Boston team is much better, and Utah beat them on a bad call at the end of the game in Boston. There's been like 4 games where Utah won a close one that they probably shouldn't have, which is what is making this season so frustrating. That's why Utah -4 wins is in the 4 or 5 spot. And it's why I'm actually getting more and more confident that Utah will be around the 5 spot when the season ends, because I think Utah, as they go into some of these games, especially against go up against the New Orleans Pelicans and make sure that Keonte George has a cold and Lauri Markkanen has a hangnail, and you lose those games. You have to, because this Jazz team is going to be really good next year. Just mark it down. They're going to be playoff competitive for sure, maybe better. But if you can just make sure you keep your pick, and then if you get lucky and win the lottery, even better. Even better. I was thinking about it today driving home. Could you imagine how good this team would be had they won the Wembanyama sweepstakes? They'd be right there with what everyone's saying about the Spurs, with how Keonte George looks, with how Lauri Markkanen looks, and then one more piece. So Utah, if they can get one more star like that, you're looking at the Jazz being the next Oklahoma City. Absolutely. The Jazz are a sleeping giant at this point with how good Keonte George has been. And I think at this point, you know what? Just trade a second-round pick, go get $1 million from some loser team, and pay the fines for resting Markkanen. Because I think Lauri Markkanen can understand what Utah is going to do. He sees what Keonte George is doing and how good this situation is going to be. And Lauri Markkanen can get another contract with the Jazz after this one expires, and just play the next 7 years. Guess what, Lauri? You will make the playoffs, not this year, but next year, and for the next 4 or 5 years minimum, you'll be in the playoffs. And if they do really well in this draft, and they do well with their moves, and they make some smart free agency signings, you might get to a Western Conference Finals. You might. This team is really exciting. When you look back at the Timberwolves trade, you look at the Cleveland trade, getting Lauri Markkanen was great. By the way, Cleveland is a bunch of bums. They're at 16. They won 1, but they're 4 of their last 6. Utah is on the same winning pace, 4 of their last 10, as the Cleveland Cavaliers, 4 of their last 10. They won 1 tonight, in fact. Or was it tonight? I want to go and see. I love watching the Cleveland Cavaliers lose. It gives me joy. I love watching the Lakers lose too, by the way. Look at this. Clippers are winning again. We may not catch the Kings, but you never know. But the Clippers all of a sudden have won 4 in a row. They're going to pass the Jazz. And Utah should definitely welcome it. Grizzlies have figured it out. Ja Morant had one of his best games in a while. Look at that. Joel Embiid playing better. But look, Utah has a real shot to get one more good player with their own pick that they're not going to have in a long time. But that's okay. This works out perfectly because next year is when they start getting the other picks. They get the Lakers pick. They get I believe the Wolves and the Cleveland Cavaliers pick next year. Next year, Utah gets 3 picks in a bad draft. Well, 2 because they did the Phoenix Suns trade. So they get at least 2 picks. Maybe you can package those and move up, and add another piece. You can become the next Oklahoma City Thunder, but you've got to keep this pick this year. So the loss tonight, for anyone who's rooting for the Jazz to go for the play-in, sorry, but this was the right thing. And then the Clippers are going to pass Utah up. Look at this. Utah loses. Clippers win again. They're going to be at 11. They're going to pass up Utah. So Utah's going to minimum be at 8. I think they can definitely, if they just play their cards right, can pass up Dallas, can pass up Charlotte, and possibly Brooklyn. Michael Porter Jr. is playing out of his mind, and they are playing really well, and they're in the Eastern Conference. So I think Utah really can just get to that 5 spot. And I do think eventually New Orleans is going to pass them. New Orleans is going to win some games, and they have an idiot GM who maybe Utah can make a trade with the Pelicans. Why can't we send Svi Mikhailuk to New Orleans for nothing? Send them Kevin Love. Send them, any of these guys to help them win. Come on. It's the right thing to do. All right, let's see here. Boston is winning. They looked pretty good tonight. I was so afraid because the Jazz start off with a lead in this one. And I was like, are you kidding me? This Boston Celtics team. I was mad and even tweeted about it. And then they turned it around. So I'm glad that they made me look bad. I don't care. Derek White was great in the second half. The first half, he was not. But he really turned it on in the second half. And thank goodness for Derek White because he was the reason they won this game with I guess he had the most blocks by a guard ever or something like that. He had 6 assists, but look at this, 7 blocks. That was the difference in this one. He blocked Lauri Markkanen a few times. It was pretty impressive. Jaylen Brown is just, here's the thing. Keonte George is better than Jaylen Brown. Keonte George was the best player on the floor tonight, and that included a team of Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And I think it is, if this is who Keonte George is, which, by the way, I mean, at a certain point, you just have to accept. Let's just look at Keonte George. His just raw stats, 24 points, 4.2 rebounds, 6.8 assists. This includes a game where he scored 0 points. This should really be at like 25 almost, 24 and a half or more. 4.2 rebounds, 6.8 assists. We're looking at a top 15 caliber guy at this point. Like all NBA level guy. I honestly, who's to say he's not becoming better than Donovan Mitchell? His passing is so much more effective than what Donovan does. His shooting is becoming more efficient at this age and at this time than it was with Donovan. Utah is winning both of those trades already just because of Keonte George and Lauri Markkanen. And then you consider the fact that they got Walker Kessler, which we'll see if they re-sign him or trade him. But either way, they've already won that trade. Because if Utah gets to a Western Conference Finals with Keonte George leading the way and Walker Kessler if Utah can get Walker Kessler on a smart deal, they win that trade easily. And now Cleveland, who hasn't done anything, is now going to start giving Utah some picks. Like, if Utah was getting the Cleveland Cavaliers pick, it'd be 16, right? They have a swap this year, and so we're hoping for the the Cavaliers are one injury to like Donovan Mitchell away from having a disastrous season. Disaster. I love the downfall of the enemy. But anyways, so 16 gets you, I don't know who that is. But LeBaron Filan is legitimately great. And if Utah could somehow get LeBaron Filan, oh my gosh. Right? Kareem Lopez at one point was looked at as like a top 5 to top 10 guy, and he's at 13. Can you just get a prospect like that, It's pretty exciting. Jaden Quaintance, I love, by the way. If Utah can somehow stay at 6 or 7 and Quaintance is on the board, you're looking at a Draymond Green type defender. And the one thing Utah needs is defense. And he's like, He's the type of guy that's so impactful that you ask yourself, like, what can we get for Walker Kessler? Can we add kind of a, like tonight, Derek White was incredible. Can you make a trade for a player that complements Keonte George better? And maybe someone like Quaintance joins your team, and maybe you bring in some sort of really, really good player, like a Derek White or something like that, like the Boston Celtics did when they filled their team with studs at every position and went to the finals. Can Utah do something like that? We shall see. But this all hinges on Utah doing what they did tonight. No more Svi Mikhailuk. Please, please jettison him into the sun. Please. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, and I just do not want to win these games anymore because we're playing Svi Mikhailuk. It was really nice, and we didn't have Ace Bailey playing tonight. Svi Mikhailuk doesn't play, so we got to see Taylor Hendricks start, which maybe this is what we're going to start seeing, which was nice. By the way, Taylor Hendricks should get some credit for Jaylen Brown. Look at this. 1 for 3 from 3. He only scored 23. Jaylen Brown for the season is averaging 29. And I think you got to give some credit to Taylor Hendricks for holding him to just, pretty, solid numbers, but he wasn't like blowing the doors off the Jazz. And there were multiple possessions where Hendricks slowed him down and it forced him to make a play, have someone else score. So I think this is great. Utah needs to be doing more of this so they can just, get their pick. They need it. And if they win the lottery, guys, I mean, we can hope. And if they do, you're looking at a real dominant team in the Utah Jazz. Let's see. Lauri Markkanen did not play particularly well tonight. He got blocked by Derek White a bunch. 37% from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. 9 rebounds, 2 assists. This was, and I know he's a plus 13, but that was mostly in the first half. I don't know. The thing that's nice is that even though his numbers weren't great, the Jazz were positive in them. Utah was a minus on the bench. And that's kind of what you want to see. I mean, you can just see right here. That's where the Jazz lost this game. And this is how the Jazz are going to keep their pick, by the way. Tonight was the blueprint. Please trade Svi Mikhailuk. Send him to the Pelicans. Send him to whoever. I mean, come on. There's got to be one of these teams that might be interested in him. Maybe. I doubt, these teams aren't going to trade for him, but you can definitely send him to the Pelicans and just help your cause out there. Truly. Like, keeping Svi Mikhailuk is stupid. Playing Svi Mikhailuk is stupid. Why would you do a dumb thing? Don't do dumb things, Jazz. Come on. Let's do smart things and do the right thing, because next year Utah's going to be great. Taylor Hendricks, we talked about him a little bit. He played solid defense on Jaylen Brown. He also struggled a little bit in certain ways. He just basically was sitting in the corner hitting threes. But, he's been a solid three-point shooter. Utah kind of won this game because he missed some threes. Overall, though, Jazz shot the ball solidly from 38%. It's crazy how good this Jazz team is becoming offensively. Yusuf Nurkic had the night of his life because this Boston team just doesn't really have an inside presence. Neemias Queta looked better tonight than he did the last time the Jazz played him, and we've heard a lot about Queta playing really well. I'm happy for him, Utah State alum. But Yusuf Nurkic really does well against some of these bigs that are, like, Queta's solid, but against someone like Nurkic, you've got to have size, and Nurkic just really crushed tonight. Look at this, 10 for 11. Probably his best game of the season, no question. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a near triple-double for Nurkic, who was honestly great tonight. He hit 2 for 2 from 3, by the way. So just a great night for him. Sensabaugh got the start tonight as well, and it's just been I'll be honest, a disappointing season for Bryce Sensabaugh. I don't know. I mean, honestly, when you look at these numbers, it's pretty crazy. We've talked about this multiple nights, and I hate to beat this drum, but statistically, it's not been good. 3-point, he's shooting 33%. That's a little better than it was, but 33% from 3 from a player that a lot of people consider an elite shooter. Not the best. And then from the field, 41. So I guess it's actually not as bad as I thought, but it's still below average. Below league average for sure. You know what? That's okay. Sensabaugh off the bench still has potential to be great, and he's not a player you're going to give up on. You're definitely going to give him a contract. It's probably not going to be a big one, though. Like, if Sensabaugh is, he's one of those guys that you probably throw, like, what, $4 to $6 million a year for, like, 4 years? And if it doesn't pan out, then you can just trade him. But he's worth keeping around because he can shoot the ball, and it's nice that you can plug him in the starting lineup. But in the future, he's probably more of a like a 6-man type of player. Keonte George, guys, he might be an all-NBA player this year. Like, we're talking, he's the most improved player, no question. It's just not a debate. I know there's some players out there, some people are talking about Tyrese Maxey. I don't know. I think he already won it, but I mean, I don't even know, like, who, like, MIP odds NBA. I'm gonna look this up. Let's look up DraftKings. Let's see. Right now, I'll just bring this over. Free advertising for you, DraftKings, I guess. But look at this. Keonte George has now jumped to the number 2 odds. Deni Avdija. I mean, I guess we should just compare. Let's do player comparison NBA. Let's see. Versus find a player and team. Let's see. I just want to put them two together. Choose season. Player 1. Keonte George. And let's just do 25-26. And then let's do Deni Avdija. And he's like in his, 6th season? Get results. Let's see if they let me do this. I don't know if I have to have a subscription to this. Okay, so points a game. Deni has 1 point above Keonte George. Rebounds, I guess Denny's going to get some edge here, but 6.8, they're averaging the same. Steals per game is Key. Dang it. Key is shooting better from 3. Key is shooting better from the free throw line. This is going to be close. What does... dang it! Deni might get it, but I wonder if people are going to look at this because... This is Key's numbers for the season. When you look at what Key is doing, in fact, let's go to Keonte George, basketball reference. What? Man, I tell you what. Can I just search a thing? Basketball reference. And, not including tonight, which is 37 points, so it's even better. But let's go to 25-26. Let's go to the game logs for this one. And we're going to just go, it doesn't include tonight, but look at this. So points, let's just go back. Since like game 13, I mean, he's had other good games beyond there, but look at this. He is shooting, in his last 19 games. So in his last 20 games, because we're not even including tonight, he is averaging 46% from the field, 41% from 3. So just 41%. That's 5 percentage points better than he's even doing right now. 46%, the same as Deni Avdija. He is averaging 6.6 assists. So same 6.6, just slightly lower, but that's because the scoring, look at this, assists 6.6, points 26.1. gives him the edge. So these are being dragged down. He had that one game. By the way, I was going to write about it. That's freaking awesome, House Money. I'm happy for you, my man. They had one game where they had Keonte George play. Remember, he got 0 points. He went 0 for 8. Why did they play him? That was one that really bothered me because he's not going to play well. And these things matter. He shouldn't have played, because it brought down his averages. That one game hurts him in this race, because I promise you there's a lot of bonehead nationals that don't watch the Jazz consistently and see what he's doing, and it cost him. So this one game, Keonte George would be higher. But anyways, last 20 games, what's cool and exciting is that this is going to even improve from tonight. Keonte George in these games is shooting just elite percentage from 3. Free throw attempts, 7.5 per game. That is absolute star territory. That's like MVP Kawhi Leonard season level. He is absolutely turning into a star. Tonight, look at this, 54, 50, 37 points. And we've still got so much season left to go. It's crazy. There is so much season left to go. He is looking like just an absolute star. And at a certain point, you just got to accept that this is a player that is going to absolutely change this team. And if you can add one more piece so that you have Keonte George, player X, Lauri Markkanen, Ace Bailey, Walker Kessler with kind of a question mark there. I'm guessing he's going to be on the team next year. We'll see what happens. And then who knows who they add to the team. Plus, if Cody Williams, Taylor Hendricks, Bryce Sensabaugh, we got some really nice signs from Walter Clayton Jr. lately. This Jazz team is starting to fill out into an incredibly good team. And next year, there's just no question they're going to make the playoffs. There was a concerning amount of Celtics fans at this game. Yeah, that tends to happen with the Lakers and the Celtics. I don't know why there's a lot of Celtics fans. I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, exciting stuff from Keonte George, who's absolutely turning into one of the best players in the NBA. It's just fact. If he's an all NBA caliber player and that's how he's playing, I mean, that's what these numbers are telling you. This is a elite player. And that's the last 20. Let's just cherry pick here, but from 24, like look at this. Let's see, let's take this off. From there to there. Okay, so this is his last 8 games. This doesn't include tonight, which was 37 points. Look at this. Let's see, minutes played, 36 minutes a game, 48% from the field, 44% from 3, 51% on 2s. He is taking 9 free throws a game, shooting 90%, 7 assists, 1.3 steals, 5 rebounds. So we're looking at a player that's averaging 30 points per game in his last 8 games, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. I mean, if you're 37 and 5, that's a top 10 player. I mean, honestly, who's doing that? That's like, you've got like Jokic and Wembanyama and SGA at the top, but then you've got Keonte George in the mix. Like, what is let's go look up like Anthony Edwards, who a lot of people have in the top 10. What's he putting up? I'm not gonna, if this is who Keonte George is, who knows? I mean, it's crazy. Anthony Edwards. Yeah, Steve Areno, they just got to rest him. Like, they've got to sit him. But anyways, this season, this is considered a top 10 guy, like 6, 7, or 8, right? 29 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. In fact, just for fun, let's go to the Ringer 100 NBA, and let's just compare. They have Keith at 79. That's going to change a lot. So number 1, Jokic is the best player in the NBA. He's going to be out for a month. Hopefully the Utah doesn't face them in the next month. SGA, no question. Luka Doncic, but look at SGA's numbers. Like, look at what he's averaging. 32, 4, and 6. I mean, that's kind of like, right? 30, 5, and 7. And this is the MVP of the league. So if this is who Key is, that's true, Steve Areno. It might have been Jazz fans hoping for the loss, to be honest. There's a lot of Jazz fans that have become very smart to what's going on and what needs to happen. But when you look at this, and then you look at what Key is doing recently, this is a top 10 player right now. He's just absolutely dominant. And if you put another player on this Jazz team with him, like if, let's say, Utah just gets lucky, and I'm not even talking about winning the lottery, like Caleb Wilson, Jaden Quaintance, maybe you take a swing and go after Nate Ament, and you think, man, can we develop this guy? I don't know. They're like Mikal Brown Jr. is at 7, and people love that guy. Koa Pete. I love Jaden Quaintance, by the way. He's like 5 on my board. I love that guy. You can just there's some guys I can just tell. By the way, I was big on Derek Queen during the whole season last season. I was like, Derek Queen's good. I don't know what to tell everyone, but Derek Queen is good. I don't know how to explain to everyone, but Derek Queen is really good. And I get that same vibes from Jaden Quaintance. It makes me want to just watch. Should we just like watch Jaden Quaintance YouTube highlights? He just barely came back from injury. I love that guy. I love Caleb Wilson. I love Jaden Quaintance. And those are the guys outside of like, Peterson, DeBonsa, Cam Boozer. Like, what if Utah comes out of this with Cam Boozer? Jordan the GOAT best roll, my man. Thank you so much. $4.99 is so generous, my friend. To a happy New Year's for the Jazz and the Hoops Nerd. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And I missed you guys. Sorry, I missed 2 videos and I felt like I was gone forever. I took the week off from work, so I'm going to make a video tomorrow. I got lots of catch up to do. And then we got a game against, I didn't even see who it was. Who are we playing? On, let's see. No. So I think we play Thursday on New Year's Day. Oh, Clippers. Got to rest on that night. I'll tell you that much. Ooh, boy. That's going to be a late night, too. I missed you guys. Sorry. I just don't like to leave. I like to man this ship. By the way, I have the day off tomorrow. I've got to, like, paint this wall. I fixed the holes from where my shelves were. I just got to maybe sand it a little more, and then I'm going to paint it and then put up my new sign. But I got to figure out this webcam. We'll see. Anyways. Cody Williams played tonight and struggled a little bit. He still shows me signs that just make me think that Utah needs to hold on to him, because there's times where he shows incredible flashes and the defense looks good. He's literally won the Jazz a game this year. He's had moments, and I just think that I'm pro Cody Williams. Putting it out there, I'm pro Cody Williams. I think Cody Williams is going to be good. At worst, he's going to be a 3-and-D wing that will hit threes. He just has to figure out the shooting. Steve Areno, Stu Sir, $5, my man. Man, I laugh more from you than anything else. Happy New Year, all. Thank you, Steve Areno. I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. I love this channel. I love you guys. I love the Jazz. I am so excited about next year, by the way. I know we're like right now kind of looking ahead, but this was the plan. And I do feel very good about the Jazz keeping a pick. Oh my gosh, Christian House money to Haas. Help you buy paint. My man. I don't know. What color should we do? Like I have like some leftover paint that my wife used for one of my kids' room. Just like white. I don't know. I think we might just do like white. We'll see. But it was real clumpy. So maybe I need to go buy, I don't know, some more. I don't know. But anyways, eggshell white is what it may be. I don't really care because I have my sign here that we're going to put up. I think it looks cool. I'm excited for it. Whoops. So, I love that sign, by the way. It took forever. Anyways, I'm excited to put it up. I just got to do it. It's been so busy. I finally have some free time tomorrow. The Hoops Nerd's got to become construction nerd, I guess. But anyways, enough on Cody Williams. Gray with a touch of blue. I'm kind of thinking a light gray might be nice, but you know what? We'll see if the eggshell white looks good, and if it does, then we're good. The thing that I'm excited about is the sign, but actually just showing that right there, that was like, I felt like that looked pretty. Screw you, Mike. Anyways, I felt like that looked pretty good, so I just hit myself in the face with the mic. All right, so Isaiah Collier has been playing really well, and it's frustrating me how well he's playing. Is Isaiah Collier a decent three-point shooter? Like, Oh, nice. Well, get some $10 jerseys, my man. All right, so Collier is like shooting the three-point shot better than Lauri Markkanen. It's kind of my favorite stat. Look at this. Three-point percentage, 37%. Let's go to Lauri Markkanen. And maybe Lauri upticked with the last 2 games, so maybe I look stupid here like I did with the other, but let's see. 36%. All right, so Isaiah Collier is shooting the 3 the same percentage as Lauri Markkanen. But yeah, I don't know if it'll keep up, but if it does, that makes him really interesting. We'll see. The form looks pretty good. And the only threes he's taking are those corner threes, and he's been knocking them down. In fact, we've been very stat heavy tonight. Let's go back. Let's see. Oh, we went to Ringer 100, by the way. I just wanted to compare what Key is doing. Luka Doncic. All right, let's go back to what I was doing. I want to do this. Because why not? Who cares? 33, 8, and 8. So Luka is definitely up there. Key is not passing Luka anytime soon. Antetokounmpo. It's kind of wild. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what Key is doing, even being in the same like air as SGA is crazy. Let's look at Giannis. He's putting up monster numbers. 28, 9, and 5. Oh my gosh. See, look. That's comparable. That's comparable. Let's go back. So they got Victor, Steph. Oh my gosh. Could he pass up Donovan Mitchell? Oh yeah. Like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. Let's look at Donovan. Donovan Disappointment Mitchell. Let's see. Donovan second round Mitchell. Donovan but like the numbers that look at this, he's only shooting 38% from 3. Look at this. Assist numbers 5.5. Not good enough because Keonte George averaging 7. Keonte George is averaging this is better than Donovan Mitchell. So is right now Keonte George, if he holds with what he's doing, the 8th best player in the NBA? Because that would put the Jazz into championship contender realm. You know, and if they get... I don't know what that is. But if they go into this lot, if they win the lottery, and that's what we hope, then they could have 2 all-NBA players. And remember, the last time Utah had 2 all-NBA guys, although was Carlos Boozer all-NBA? Did Carlos Boozer make all-NBA? Yes, call it all-NBA third team in 2008. And I believe, is that the year the Jazz went to the Western Conference Finals? When did Darren Williams go to the Western Conference Finals? 2007. So this is around the time they... So anyways, the last time the Jazz had 2 all-NBA players, they went to the Western Conference Finals. This is not complicated. But if Utah can do that, I don't think Lauri Markkanen is all-NBA caliber, but he's borderline all-star. If Keonte George is an all-NBA player, and if you can somehow add another talent, and let's say Ace Bailey just gets better every season, you're looking at a team that could be a championship contender, and that's exciting stuff. It's really exciting. We're getting there. But yeah, you look at Jalen Brunson, Cade, Kevin Durant. Key is definitely in this area. He was better than Jaylen Brown tonight, and I think he's a better player than Jaylen Brown. So what? At worst, he's like the 12th guy. DD Guy 5000, my man, $5. Thank you so much. Difference between Mitch and Key is that Key actually likes playing here. I hated Mitch. I loved Donovan Mitchell at the beginning, but he was so clearly trying to force his way out because he thought he was drinking his own Kool-Aid so much. And then my favorite thing ever is they said, well, then enjoy Cleveland, dude. And so now he's in Cleveland and no one watches him. And and he doesn't get as much flack as he should, to be honest. He doesn't make other players better. To me, that's the big difference between Key, and Key seems to like it here. I don't think Key cares. Key is a basketball guy. Like, he loves basketball. I think, to me, that's, at least mentality-wise, that's probably the difference, because Donovan Mitchell loves to be Donovan Mitchell, the superstar, and getting, like, awards and getting highlights on ESPN and being, he likes being Donovan Mitchell. Keonte George loves basketball and winning basketball games. He's a junkie. Like, that was the one thing I loved too, hearing about Donovan Mitchell when he was a rookie, is that he just loves to watch the games. Remember that Key went to Las Vegas to watch games, right? In the offseason, he goes to places to watch basketball and improve his game. Like, that's all he cares about, and that's amazing. We got ourselves an alien. He's really great, and this is what we always wanted. Lisan Al-Gaib! Keonte George, the one, like Neo. We were dang near there for 4 years with Quinn. By the way, Will Hardy, really good, better than Quinn. So far, last 5 games, the Atlanta Hawks have lost 5 in a row. Those guys, Donovan Mitchell, Quinn Snyder, kind of held us back a little bit. You wonder if they had a different coach, like a Will Hardy, things might have been different. What is this? This is Bill Simmons, like, pay attention to this guy more. But anyways, Utah is on a trajectory. They just have to keep the pick, because if they keep this pick, guys, it changes everything for the next 7 years. Right? It's like biblical here. We've been in famine for 3-4 years. We will be in 7 years of plenty, but we got to keep the pick. Gotta keep the pick. Pick is extremely important. You add this pick, put them on this team, you let them develop. If you win the lottery, that's just bonkers, because the lottery has some incredible players, and you're looking at guys like Quaintance, Ament. I think Ament will be there for Utah if they're at 7, and he could be a guy you could bring in and have him be a project. I love the idea of Nate Ament, and he gets, I don't know, that's a guy that I think could be much better on an NBA floor than on a college floor with spacing, because he's not super explosive, but man, is he tall and long and a good passer, and he gets his shot. I don't know. He's really interesting. But Utah has kind of found their guy in Key. Filipowski was a -19. He played okay. I like him off the bench. I don't know if he was really the reason. He missed some threes, but 40% from 3, so he was fine. So yeah, I don't know. And then Walter Clayton Jr. is just playing better and better as we go. I think Utah really found the blueprint tonight to get their pick and keep it. And then next year they can go into free agency. They can make some trades to actually get better. If they want to trade some of these younger guys and that can turn into something, maybe. Or just let them continue to develop. That's what I would like to do. And just go find guys that you can fill the gaps. Like, if Utah can go out and get a star or some sort of borderline guy, then amazing, right? Like, there's guys out there you can go get. The guys that might be available that Utah wouldn't have thought about getting now because you're trying to lose. But in the future, you can go get a player or throw, why couldn't Utah try to go get Austin Reeves? You know what I mean? Why not? If you've got the money and you can throw it at him, great. So I don't know. Hopefully they don't give all that money though, just to Walker Kessler. They'd like to sign someone into that cap space and then sign Kessler and then go over the cap. And then Utah's really good next year. So that's what's going to happen. But Utah's going to keep the pick. I feel good about it. And if the Jazz just keep the pick, I'm excited. If they win the lottery, amazing. Like, it changes everything. But even if they don't win the lottery, if they just keep their pick, amazing. That's great. And I'm happy to root for this team because I think they can be really good. They got to get better defensively. That's why I'm a big Quaintance guy. Can we just look at Jaden Quaintance for a second? They have him as power forward, but to me, he's like a center, really. Oh, not a lot of steals, but offensive rebounds, defensive win shares. Look at that. Plus, 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 plus. Plus, 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 plus. Field goal percentage, rebounds, draft age, blocks, offensive win shares. Look at that. For a guy that's known for his defense, he helps you win on the offensive end. Points, true shooting. Where he struggles is free throw percentage and assists. Okay, so we'll see. But I like him a lot. So this is interesting. Assist percentage, that's interesting. I think he's played like 2 games. How many games has he played? Games, 2. Yeah, it says it right there. Duh. So we don't know. But after 2 games, it's pretty awesome. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Although we saw from Walker Kessler in 3 games, he was hitting threes. If that's real, then it really makes him special. I mean, what if Utah adds, I don't know, we're just in like dream mode here, but what if Utah adds AJ DeBonsa? And you've got a lineup of Keonte George, Ace Bailey, AJ DeBonsa, Lauri Markkanen, and I guess Walker Kessler. And that's your starting unit. Get out of town. And then off the bench, Taylor Hendricks, Walter Clayton, Isaiah Collier, Svi Mikhailuk. It's freaking great. So this was great. Guys, I missed you. I missed everyone. I hope everyone's doing well and had a great Christmas and is excited for a new year. It's going to be a really interesting year for me. I've got some interesting things happening for me over the next week. So I'll let you know about it next week. But exciting stuff, really fun. And let's see. So let's pull up the music, right? It's a little loud. Let's drop it a little bit. All right. So after tonight, let's go back to the homepage here. Utah sits at 9, but they're tied in the win column with Dallas. Dallas is openly tanking, and somehow Adam Silver, the loser, keeps like being worried about the Jazz. Stupid idiot. Makes me so annoyed. But anyways, if the lottery was today, who would the Utah Jazz? What would happen? I'm sorry, Rusty. What would happen? Utah jumps to 4. Caleb Wilson joins the Utah Jazz. I love it so much. Atlanta gets the number 1 pick, but they're terrible, and Quinn Snyder's overrated and can't develop players. So I'm not sad about that. Utah gets the 4 pick. Exciting stuff. And Dallas goes to 9. And OKC only gets the number 6. Sam Presti, cry about it. All right, so let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. Thank you guys so much. By the way, did I miss anything? Let's see. All right. Ryan Perry, the legend. The name means king. Jace's Ace Garner. Steve Areno, Stu Sir. Let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel Raicibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. See ya, Lex Salater. Jordan, the GOAT, Besserell. Christian House Money to Haas. I'm glad you got to watch the game tonight, Christian. Hopefully it was fun. Robert, Hall of Fame, Arcs Poetica, Austin, our Grant editor extraordinaire. A very happy new year to you, Austin. Key for 3 at PG, the OG, and Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Things are going well. I'm excited. Those wins hurt my feelings. They really did. Utah with 2 less wins, like they should have lost those games. Utah would be sitting right here at the 5 spot. That's why I'm just thinking, Utah, can they just figure this out? Come on, man. Get this done, Danny. Get this done, Austin. Ryan, they're going to win a lot of games for you, my man. Make this happen. Make it happen, Captain.